Hello there. I wanted to share with you a stone that I just received. This stone was a gift from a friend of mine. I do not know if he wants me to reveal who he is. He can be like that. He prefers a lot of times to do things behind the scenes. And most of the time he doesn't want any kind of applaud for the things that he does. In my opinion, that speaks to his character. He knows who he is, and so if he watches this, I'm really proud to be your friend, and not because you gave me this stone or anything else, but there's a passage in the Bible, as iron sharpeneth iron, so one man sharpeneth another. And it's about being in the company of men of character. And I consider him that, and I'm proud to know him. But anyway, this is a stone that I have been wanting and needing for quite a while. They're not super expensive, but when I get a little bit of money, there's so much demanding my attention that a lot of times, and you guys know how it is, everybody knows how that is, unless, you've got a rich uncle or something like that, and most of us work for a living, and we've got to choose what we spend our money on, and sometimes we can't spend it on what we'd like to. But this is a Norton IB8. Now I have a Norton MB8, and the MB8 stands for medium bench 8-inch, and it's an 8-inch medium bench stone. This IB8 stands for, I assume it stands for India bench 8. And it's 1x2x8. And this is a combination fine and coarse India stone. This is a fantastic stone. Nowadays, we've got water stones and diamond stones and things like that. Water stones and diamond plates. Some people would call them a stone, but they're plates. But they're a hone, that's for sure. But we have water stones, diamond hones, ceramic, all kinds of things. But back in the day, back when I was young, and back when my granddaddy was young, these were the stones that you saw in people's shops, whatever they were doing. You saw one of these, and probably a black or translucent, or maybe even just a hard Arkansas, because back then they didn't really call them blacks or translucents, or they basically just called it a hard Arkansas, and it could be anything from a true hard all the way to a trans or a black, which is they're all basically true hard stones if you really get down to the nomenclature. But we call them different things, and back then, common terms for them was black and stuff like that. But Norton just said a hard Arkansas, and it could be pretty much anything. You had to kind of look at the stone to tell. So a lot of times, what would happen is that medium 8-inch that I have, the MB8, they would have one of those and some type of hard, or they would have one of these, which is some websites say this is 100 grit. Some websites say this is 150 grit. But I think what they're doing is this is ANSI, American National Standard Institute, I believe is what that stands for. And then a lot of them are using the ANSI classification, and then the others are using JIS, or Japanese International Standard, or Japanese Industrial Standard, which is what most of your Japanese water stones and stuff are rated at. So the grit ratings are different, but it's depending on which rating. It's 100 grit, 150 grit. The thing of it is, it's low enough to do a lot of work, and this stone will come in handy for doing things like profiling a plane blade's bevel or a chisel, reshaping a chisel bevel, grinding a lot of stuff of metal quickly. And I've really been needing it because I've got a bunch of junk low grit stones that I've been using, and this will be welcome in my shop. The other side, I've been wanting for a fine India to do like straight razor oil stone progressions with. I've been using my medium India, but the fine is finer. According to some websites, they say this is 320 grit. According to others, they say it's 400. Again, I think it's a difference between ANSI or JIS, or perhaps some of them don't have their information right. It doesn't matter. This will be much preferable to the medium India that I was using for that. And now this stone is not absolutely flat. I use the side of my Atoma plate as a way to measure flatness, and this is sticking to this microfiber. That to me is machined flat enough that that's all the flatness I need. I don't need a $200 Starrett or whatever to measure flatness. If I don't see any light under that, the stone is flat enough to do anything I need to do. And there is a small sliver of light in the center of this stone on this side, and a little bit of light on either side of the other. So this stone has got a slight curve to it, and that's normal. It's normal that they don't always come flat. If you get a stone, a hone, any of them pretty much, unless you're talking about a high quality diamond plate or something like that, it's not going to come, they're not always going to come perfectly flat. You're going to have to do some flattening of your own, and that is normal, not a knock against the stone. If you are buying any kind of sharpening stones and you think that they're going to be flat and you don't have to do any work, then you're probably very sadly misinformed, to say the least. And besides, a lot of times you need to really abrade the surface a bit to actually get the stone to work as it should. But this is beautiful. It's a wonderful tool that I will use very happily for a long time. And I thank the gentleman who gave it to me. Thought you might want to see it. Let's on the back of this box, let me read this real quick. This is from Norton's St. Gobain, I guess, is the parent company of Norton. But it says sharpening stones for metal tools have been unearthed by Egyptian excavators dating back to 1450 BC. Our story is not so old, but when our pilgrim forefathers landed in 1620, they soon discovered they had forgotten to bring sharpening stones for their axes, knives, and scythes. A crisis developed as the harvesting of crops and wood for housing and heat became difficult, contributing to a very harsh first winter. It was a long wait for stones to be sent from Europe, and search parties were sent to find suitable stone. It was not until 1821 when Pearson Noyes, a White Mountain, New Hampshire pioneer, stumbled along the finest deposit of mica schist in the world. Isaac Pike soon followed and commercialized Pearson Noyes' discovery in 1823 into what was to become the Pike Manufacturing Company. Worldwide distribution of pike sharpening stones occurred as early as the mid-1800s. In 1897, Norton Company and the Pike Manufacturing Company joined forces, satisfying the sharpening needs of the Industrial Revolution, the development of the safety razor, automation in every sharpening need known to man. Norton Pike has received citations from Admiral Byrd upon return from his trip to the Antarctic, and has received the Army-Navy Production Award for meeting the production needs of World War II. The technology that has evolved into the combination oil stone is designed to satisfy the most exacting toolmaker, mechanic, farmer, sportsman, woodworker, handyman, or even the kitchen chef. You'll find this product effective for all of your sharpening needs. Thank you for buying this sharpening product from Norton Pike. And they are fantastic stones, and yeah, I know most people would get excited about, a high dollar water stone or something like that. But like I said, I'm old school, and I love these things. And so, awesome. Norton IB8 8-inch combination bench stone. Thanks for watching, gentlemen. Later.